With a show of hands, who here has been negatively affected by social media? Whether it be a comment, a post, or a picture. I know I have. Being a social media user myself and having kids who in the future will use social media is very frightening to know what the dangers of social media are. Today I'll pursue my audience to know the dangers social media has by first addressing the problem, second telling the causes, and third giving solutions. First, let's address the problem social media has. In today's world, social media has a big impact in everyone's lives. Surveys have shown that 90% of kids in the ages between 13 and 17 have used social media or own a social media profile. Now let's talk about the dangers. Social media becomes dangerous when kids' mental health is at risk. According to the article on US News and World Report by E.J. Mundell, he states that a systematic review of 20 studies found that the use of social media was associated with body image concerns and disordered eating. In another article by Help Guide, authors Lawrence Robinson and Melinda Smith, MA, state that rather than helping to alleviate negative feelings and boost your mood, you feel more anxious, depressed, and lonely after using social media. Another danger that comes with social media is cyberbullying. Due to people being behind the screen, and it's easier to say things to a screen than to a person face to face. According to Elizabeth Whitaker Robin M. Kolosky, who wrote Cyberbullying via Social Media in the Journal of School Violence in 2015, they found in Study 1 that texting and social media to be the most commonly used for cyberbullying. Now that we understand some of the problems that come with social media, let's look at its causes. While there are several contributing factors to the problem of social media, we're going to discuss two main causes: suicide and depression. While there are many positive effects to using social media, there are some dark negative effects to it. According to Joe Gramigna, who wrote Social Media Use may play an important role in the youth suicide. Expert says on October 5, 2020 states that rising suicide rates in these demographic groups have coincided with rising rates of social media use. Suicide is very harsh effect of social media, but there is depression and anxiety that come before and are a warning signs that can lead to suicide. As people get comfortable behind the screen, they get used to saying hurtful things to other kids, young adults, older people, causing those kids to feel depressed, anxious, and feel bad about themselves. According to Caroline Miller, who wrote Does Social Media Cause Depression on the Child Mind Institute, she states that teenage and young adult users who spend the most time on Instagram, Facebook, and other platforms were shown to have substantially higher rate reported depression than those who spent less time. The percentage went from 13% to 16%, so that's more than half percentage risen just from last year to this year. Now that we have discussed some causes of the dangers of social media, let's see some. I will be telling you guys about some small solutions that we can try. Although there are many positive effects to using social media, the dangers of it become very dark. There are some small changes that we can all do to prevent any of the problems stated above. The first is to pay attention to what you do and how you feel when using social media. If you're angry at something you see, the right thing would be to put your phone down and walk away. Don't comment on the person's picture or do emojis or anything, because that will then make the other person feel bad or you. The second is to be aware of the feelings of others. Not everyone thinks and acts like you, and sometimes the things you say may be taken offensive. According to Jelena Kekmanik, who wrote How to Use Social Media, mental health expert on June 16, 2019, you should have detox periods. Scheduling regular multi-breaks from social media, even a 5-day or a week-long break from Facebook, can lead lower stress and higher life satisfaction. In conclusion, today we talked about the dangers of social media in 3 steps: explain the problem, its causes, and finally ways that we can help. So now that you guys know the dangers of social media, I hope next time you guys see something that makes you mad or that you want to make fun of, you think about what the person in the other side of the screen might feel and how that can help the other person's self-esteem, whether it be in a good place or a bad place.